Setup Man Nation. This is Alex Brault reporting live from my office. Cubs have runners on second and third. PCA at the plate. We are going live because we want to celebrate this with y'all, so let's just see what happens.
Come on, boy. Come on, my guy. Let's go.
You know what? I can't have the here, let's change the background. Because I have the I had the other background up. So if you're just joining us, runners on, PCA at the
Rally
plate.
caps,
We're watching
baby.
it live with y'all.
Come on, PCA. Let's go, boy. Come on, man. Let's go, dude. Shoot. Hey, but you know what? This is what we've been wanting right here. This is what we're paying Dansby for right here.
Yeah.
This is what he's been working up for. This is why he was moved where he was. He's been hitting. He's been swinging a hot bat. Time to win us the game, Dansby. Let's go, dude. Time to do your job.
If you're just joining us, I see the room is starting to build up. We're watching the game live with you. Here is Cubs in the bottom of the 10th. 2 on, 2 out. Dansby Swanson at the plate. We're going to watch it with you because
just fouled one off. We're 0-1. Let's go,
Shawn
boys.
and I are ready to just go bananas, and hopefully they can pull this off. So this is an impromptu watch-along. So thank you for joining us a little early, and sorry for the late notice. We just decided to do this. So here we go. 0-1, Dansby Swanson at the dish.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
My heart is pounding right now.
Good eye there.
Okay.
Matt, I don't think PCA should have bunted there. I just don't know that that's the way. I think for us, what Alex and I were talking about was just very simply, we don't need you to do anything crazy. Just put the bat on the ball. Even a grounded double play, right? Even a grounded double play, I feel like he could have beat that out. We just wanted to put the bat on the ball, but he was free swinging.
Jeff, if we do jinx it, my deepest apologies.
We won't do it ever again. I promise you.
We wanted to get live on the air. So if we did, you know what? I'll wear this one. I was the one that made the executive call, so that would be my bad.
It was all him.
Let's hope that's not the case.
2-2, boys. Let's go.
Come on, Dansby. One time.
Low.
Okay.
I'll take that. Let's go. You got caught looking at that fastball last time down the middle.
Yep. And then Carson Kelly's on deck. Oh man, the PCA bat really. The PCA bat bothered me because you knew he wanted to be the hero so bad. So it's like I get it, young kid, but it's like, oi.
Let's go!
Oh,
come on, line drive, right at him, baby. We're going into extras. Holy Christmas! We are going into extras now. Look, it's free baseball, everybody. Free baseball. This is crazy.
Oh, man. That's been the story of the game. Freaking all game long.
I know what it is, Alex. I know what it is. We rallied and we tied the game, but I did not put things
back to normal.
I did not put things back to the way they were.
There we go. That's the background I wanted. Yeah. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. Impromptu watch along as we were getting ready to go live. Cubs were making some noise in the ninth. Kyle Tucker ties it, and we kind of looked at each other like, should we just watch this live with the Setup Man Nation? And I was waiting for the boss man, the Setup Man himself, to respond. He didn't respond, so I just made a call, and here we are. So we're happy to watch this game along with you. And man, this is
nuts, guys. Yeah, so what do you think? I see Charles here says Hodge is going back out, or will Hodge go back out? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd throw Hodge back out there at this point.
I probably wouldn't. And let's see. ESPN's box score does not have an update.
What is ESPN selling us?
Nothing.
Let's see. We've already used we've used Keller. We've used Flexen. We've used Hodge now. We used Palencia. Thielbar was done last night.
They're bringing in Presley.
I wonder. Actually, I was going to say, I bet you Presley's got to be on that man.
He isn't, because he's pitched twice since he got his knee drained. So I'm interested to see how sharp his stuff looks. Because obviously, no room for mistake now. There's a guy in runner in scoring position.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's do it, man. Come on, Ryan. Let's go.
Oh no, Marquis just flashed a bullpen graphic. That's never a good omen. That's never
Charles
good.
says he hopes we don't get fired. I just realized I just put my my call up on the line because of you, Alex. Like, good night.
Well, ask forgiveness, not permission. And if Kyle's watching, Kyle, I apologize. But you didn't
He does
respond
not.
either.
He doesn't really live by that philosophy, Kyle. He just said that because it sounds good for air.
Not
for
really.
air
I'm
time.
terrified of conflict. So if I am in trouble, I apologize. If they,
Let's go.
I think the only way I don't get in trouble is if the Cubs win. Then I think everyone goes home happy.
All right, good pitch. Good pitch. All right, Ryan Presley went out 2-0 and came back and threw a strike down the middle. Let's go.
So what do we got for them? It's Elliot Ramos, Bailey the catcher, and
Man, let's go.
Wisely. Who's
Beck-
Wisely? Brett Wisely.
Becky, thanks for the update. Reds lost. Oh, he drove that one. Come on. That's
son of a gun.
all right. We have to go to work,
he
man.
stayed.
Oh, he's not scoring. He's not scoring, though. He's not scoring. Oh,
Well, that was bizarre.
it's probably smart on his part, though, man. The ball, not sure it's going to die down out there the way the ball's been flying out there. And Hap made it look like he's got a beat on it. Yeah, he just jumps like he's got it. I mean, honestly, it's a good deke. Like, I mean, he's looking. Oh, crap, he's going to get it. No, crap. Yeah, so that actually was really good.
That sucks. That's not
Ryan Stressley.
how you want to start.
Thanks, Mark. Ryan Stressley. You
He
need
also-
to strike out here.
Commented that Stressley's not a good pitcher. He is a good pitcher. It's just the only reason I don't like him in this spot particularly is just because he hasn't pitched a whole lot in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's really high pressure for a guy who hasn't thrown the ball a whole lot. That's it.
Shoot.
That's a run scored.
That might be two.
Not going to send the other one. Not sending the other one. No.
Well, that was a bad throw too. Shoot. That's
And
almost
no
why
outs either.
you almost had, if you were going to win the game, you almost had to win it in the last inning. You had 2 on with 1 out. PCA comes unglued trying to hit a homer, and Dansby, I mean, he hit a rocket just right at, and that's
Hit
the
a
story of the
rocket at
game.
third
They
base.
hit rockets all game long.
And it just did not fall and did not drop. That's been the story.
Yeah, I mean, and once we get into our actual show, because folks, stick around. We're doing a little watch along now. We have an actual show we're going to do after this. We just thought, and my fault. Oh, come on, make the
Got
play.
him. Oh,
No,
he
dropped
might have
it.
been safe.
He dropped it anyway.
Shoot.
Oh,
Yeah, they needed that.
Yeah, I agree with Stomp Expert. Yeah, they let him off the hook. They had 2 guys on with 1 out, and look, the PCA at bat. I love PCA. That was just a bad at bat, and Ian Happ in the 9th inning. It was just a bad at bat in that situation. He also was just free swinging. Like, take a pitch.
Yeah,
And then-
you said it as right when we were going live. He was going for hero ball.
Like,
he wanted that. He wanted that moment. And he was swinging, and there was really nothing really close.
Yeah.
This is probably why we're going to go to a bullpen game now on Saturday.
Well, don't give away our good stuff for the show. We can't give away any of our saucy nuggets for the show.
Oh man, at this point, bro, this is probably the show.
I mean, we could roll right into it, but we're not going to. At this
No,
point,
we're gonna stick to our guns.
I made the horrible decision to come on live. It's my fault, and now I got to wear it.
That's all right. We're okay. We still got, I guess, in that moment, who would be up? Vidal? Would it be Vidal? Who's at third right now? Vidal?
Up for the Cubs is going
Should be
to be
Vidal, Happ, and Tucker.
Kelly Lopez now, because Lopez came in.
Okay.
So Kelly, Lopez, and Happ. And Swanson. Swanson will be running.
It's not like I don't like that. I mean, Kelly swings the bat one time. He could tie the game if we get out of this right here.
Yeah, I see the chat being very negative. I didn't hear no bell. We'll have a guy in runner in scoring position right away. Like, I didn't hear no bell.
Look, guys, I would have said this last year. I would have said it was over. I was telling Alex earlier, like, last year, this is over. Hey, look, sixth inning, seventh inning, we're down 2. Uh, I'm I'm done. I'm probably going to go put my kids to bed and just go do my thing. Probably put on a show and hang out with the wife for the night and just go. Yeah, that's what we're going to do because I'm not. If the Cubs win, great. If not, oh well, that's what I expected. But like all the way up until the 9th inning, I was like, I was on here with Alex in the backstage, just going, man, listen, these guys can do it, man. Like it's just an exciting team. Like they don't really give up. I mean, we have a bunch of these moments, but for what it is, we've been pretty rock solid for last couple of weeks in the bullpen. We probably due for a bad game.
But it wasn't a clean game. The defense wasn't great.
All the way around.
This was a strange game from the beginning. I mean, then there was the bunt that went over Bush's head. I mean, just weird stuff the entire game. Granted, some of that was self-imposed. The birdie error. I mean, and we could save this for the show too, but this was just a bizarre game from start to finish. And now here we are in the top of the 11th. 2 on, nobody out, and a full count to Yaz. Mike Yaz, not Carl Yaz. But yeah. I mean, it's
Becky says Birdie sucks. I did say that too, Becky. I did say when it was time for Birdie's thing to come up, they put Turner in. And I was like, I think you should let Nicky Lopez go ahead and rock that spot and throw it. I said throw a bunt down in that moment. Thinking to just get the guys over, and the next guy, Ian Happ, comes up. Bases loaded, no outs. Just pretend it's like a clean slate here, Ryan. Just go up there and throw some strikes, bro. Come on.
Yeah, they can't let it get bigger than this.
I hate to say this. It almost feels like after an inning like this and the knee issue, like he might hit a phantom IL stint. Like
Presley?
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, he's not crisp at all.
There's a lot of Presley. He's been really good outside of tonight.
Not right here. Here. He just hit a guy,
outside of tonight.
But I mean, he's only pitched one time?
Twice
in the last week.
But again,
how long is that? A week?
I don't remember the exact date. But whose fault is that? That's on Council for not pitching him more. And there's no save opportunities. All right, that doesn't mean he still can't throw. Especially for this guy who was cruising. You want to keep that momentum. So, and what's the deal here? They're wondering if it hit him versus not hit him.
Well, he took off the first like he got hit, and he said, and the umpire behind the plate said dead ball.
Well, either way. Okay, so
the difference is like it's a man on, still the bases loaded versus a man on second and third.
Challenging.
Well, I wonder now too, so because they called dead ball. So if they overturn this, does that mean the runner has to go back to third?
No, because bases were loaded.
The umps have been bad.
Well, the bases were loaded, so if they determine that he was hit by the pitch, they still score, and it's bases loaded, nobody out.
Well, that's I mean, if they overturned it, because they ruled this as a hit by pitch. They ruled it as a hit by pitch.
Yeah, and it does look.
So I'm saying if they ruled it a dead ball, and I think that's what they're saying, if they ruled it a dead ball, and they overturned that he was not hit by the pitch.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Then.
Oh, they said he was hit by pitch, so it doesn't matter.
You took that you were so quick. Get out of here, bro. Jeez.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shawn, if they break it open here, I say we just roll right into the show.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Here.
Oh, jacked. Yeah, good drive. They're scoring a couple. Oh, he held him up. Man, they just really just hit parade right now. Like, time, just pull them, man. You gonna let them finish this now? Jeez. Come
I'm
on.
not sure.
It's coming unraveled. What are the fans chanting? Are they chanting Jung-Hoo Lee? Let's see here. Thanks for that, Matt. Oh my gosh. They literally have found every single hole tonight, guys. Like, this is crazy. They found every single hole they could find in the infield. Sheesh.
Yeah. All right. So why don't we do this, folks? I think we start the post-game show, and then if something miraculous happens, you'll hear our joy live. But yeah, Shawn, what do you say?
Hey man, we can run with it. It's up to you. You make the call. Like, let's just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we do that? Set up Nation. We'll just get right to the chase. So all right. I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this on the fly, folks.
Yeah, how do you want to roll it, bro? Let's go.
Yeah, I just have to make sure that my volume for my computer isn't on once we go live, or that's going to be some copyright issues. So we don't want that. Okay.
Man, they are just teeing off on Ryan Presley, bro.
Yeah, it's not great.
He's at 21 pitches, doesn't have an out.
All right, so Shawn, all right, this is what we're going to do, as Kyle just texted me. So here's what we're going to do. I say we'll just start. I'll play the countdown. We'll give ourselves a minute to gather ourselves. Game will still be on in the background, so if anything happens, whatever. The audio experience tomorrow for those will be quite a surprise if they hear us yelling and screaming. But yeah, I say we just start our half-hour show and let's do it. So I'm going to play the countdown, folks. Stay with us. We're going to talk more about this game, even though it's not over. I mean, let's be honest, it might be over. But yeah, all right. So I'm going to play the countdown, and we'll get into the show right after this. Well, I don't know what was worse tonight, the Cubs' luck or that seventh inning stretch. That and more coming up on the Setup Man postgame show right now. Seriously, though, did you hear that seventh inning stretch?
That was pretty bad, man. That was pretty bad.
It's been one of the worst I've heard in a while. But the game is still going on because I made a mistake going live. So if you're still here, welcome. Make sure when you're here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Yeah, the game is still going on, but it's 12-5 here in what, the 11th, the 12th, top of the 11th. No one's out yet. Ryan Presley just absolutely imploded tonight. So yeah, I mean, Shawn, we talked about it during our watch along, our mini impromptu watch along. This was one of those games, man. It was really bizarre from the start. A number of examples. Pick one. Michael Busch hits one 103 off the bat to dead center, caught for an out. PCA in his first at bat rockets one off the Hall of Famer Justin Verlander, caught for an out. There was a lot of that tonight. Even in the bottom of the 10th, two guys on for Dansby with two out, hits a rope right at Matt Chapman. That's been the story of the game so far.
Yeah, it just felt like one bad thing after another bad thing, and it wasn't really things that were even in their control for most of the part. It was just they'd swing the bat. I mean, I remember one, I think it was the 6th inning, and I think they had Birdie on third and they had Tucker at first, and Seiya Suzuki comes up, and I'm thinking, man, we're down 2. Man, he hits one, he launches one here. Like, man, we're ahead 1. We're ahead 1 going into the bottom half of the game, and like launches one over 100 miles an hour right to the right fielder. Just took 3 steps and was like, oh, line drive right in my face. And just that felt like the game, the whole game there. That I think that at AB for me summarized it in one at bat.
Yeah, and the defense was sloppy tonight. I was trying to look up defensive stats. It looks like they're about middle of the pack defensively. We know they have really good defensive players, but for the most part, according to I don't know where that stat went. Well, it doesn't matter. TeamRankings.com had them right in the middle of the pack for errors per game. I mean, it's just the defense, when it doesn't look sharp, really stands out. Michael Busch dropped a pop-up tonight, and he is as solid defensively as they come. Birdie had another bizarre adventure over at third base today, early in the game, that gave the Giants their first 2 runs, if you want to do it that way. It was just I don't really understand. And also, Nicky Lopez has been playing really well defensively, so I understand Birdie's a nice versatile piece to have, but at this point, why not just Lopez go? He's been your best option defensively.
Yeah. Well, and I think some of that too is like, I've played a little ball growing up, nothing super major, super crazy. Done some coaching on an AAU level, again, very small scale. But like at the end of the day, like you got to get those guys reps. Like I know Nicky, again, you're talking to the guy who wants Nicky Lopez to rock that position and stick with it. But at the end of the day, you got to keep guys like John Birdie. You got to give him the ABs because he's on this team and he's had some valuable at bats and some valuable play throughout the year already as well. While Matt Shaw's been trying to figure things out, so you got to go. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, and speaking of giving it to him, I mean, do we need to have a Ryan Presley conversation? He faced 8 batters today in the 11th inning. That's still going on, by the way. And he allowed every single one to reach. That's a bad outing. He had only pitched twice since he got his knee drained a few weeks ago, or a week ago, whenever that was. So my question to you, Shawn, we were debating this before we got on the actual post-game show. As they're speaking of, Caleb Thielbar gives up a double now, so this game is really over. But is it on Presley because he didn't look sharp, or I would argue potentially, hey, Counsell, the guy's only pitched twice in a week. You're going to need him in a big spot, and he had been pitching really well. There was a lot of momentum behind him after a rough start. He comes in tonight after not pitching for a while, and he looks like that. So is this more of a Ryan Presley issue, or is this a, hey, Craig, why didn't you pitch him earlier? Or is he that banged up that maybe he should have just been on the IL to begin with?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with both. I think they're both at fault here. One, Ryan Presley is a professional. Like he should be ready to go anytime his number is called. Like that's part of it. I also know though that like those guys have rhythms, those guys have routines. And when you're telling me, Alex, that the last time he pitched effectively was April 20th, and then he had some knee drainage and came in 7 days later, 1 inning, 1 walk, and then didn't pitch again for another 5 days, which was last week in Pittsburgh. The dude's pitched 2 times in 17 days. This be 18 counting today. Like, if it was going to take that long, one, why did we waste a bullpen spot for him? Why not just let him go to the IL? And hey, look, you just drained your knee, brother. Like you need to go, hey, just go get a couple of rep innings in the minor leagues and get yourself back into rhythm and momentum. But no, we decided to pitch him 3 times now in about 8 or 9 days. And again, the other 2 games, they weren't really that competitive because he they were losing affairs, and then he cost this affair. So some of it is very questionable. Like, why did we keep him on the roster and waste a bullpen spot if we know we weren't going to use him for about 10 days? That sounds like an IL spot. Then the other part is like you threw him in one day, 7, 8, 5, 6 days later you threw him in, and then now 5 days later you threw him in again. Like, I don't know many relievers that can go consistently pitching just once every 5 or 6 days, throwing 20 pitches, and then you're going to be pretty effective. Sounds like you're a mop-up guy pitching that way.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, and I agree with you. Maybe a 10-day IL stint, and then, hey, just go have an outing or two in Iowa. Make sure you're feeling good. Come on back. Especially this early in the season. There's no reason to push him.
Correct.
And he had been really good. I saw our chat when we were doing the back-end watch-along when we thought they were going to win. Like, the chat, this guy's terrible. That hasn't been the case. He's been really good.
He's been good.
For the month of April, he was really solid outside of his first couple outings. He was really, really good. But obviously when you don't pitch and you're out of rhythm and your knee obviously isn't 100%, this all affects things. So, yeah, it's one of those things where there probably isn't a right answer, but it feels like, especially this early in the season, with someone who is on the back end of their career, let's face it, he's older. Just take a more conservative approach. Put him on the IL, make sure he's feeling good. And who cares if he blows up in Iowa? Then you know he's not 100% healthy. So, yeah.
I'm with you.
The one other thing I want to touch on this game before we get to our main story tonight, which you and I did a lot of deep diving on the Cubs offense this year. And that's our main story tonight. But before we get there, one thing I wanted to point out, something to monitor, just put it in a folder, tuck it away. Might be nothing, might be something. Chris Flexen pitched tonight. Threw 12 pitches only, but he pitched the 9th inning tonight. So, Shawn, did the Cubs tip their hand? Is Cade Horton coming up?
Yeah, I honestly had that same question when that happened, and I thought to myself, I was like, okay, so we know we're going to get Brown tomorrow, and if we continue the rotation as it were, we get Tyone Friday night in New York, and then Shota would have started on Saturday, and I think I was the one on here last night saying, like, hey, give it to Chris Flexen, give it to Chris Flexen. And then lo and behold, tonight we see Chris Flexen. I'm going, okay, well, all right. I mean, you could still technically go out there and throw him in the starting position. So, but after seeing him come in, I'm kind of like, well, you're not stretching him out that way. So I guess maybe that's not going to be the case. So my only alternative is one, it's either going to be a major bullpen day where maybe Chris Flexen and Brad Keller get a solid 5-6 innings, and maybe even Hollowell comes in and gets a 1 or 2, and then we'll see where we're at. Or maybe we'll see Cade Horton. Maybe Ryan Presley will go on the IL here. And we'll call up Cade Horton to start this game on Saturday.
I don't really know what to believe. The fact that he pitched tonight, was available to pitch tonight, was just it was just an eyebrow raiser. I don't know. It may be right. Maybe he'll be an opener. Maybe they'll do a piggyback thing where Flexen goes 3 and someone else goes 3 or 4 and 3, or however they want to do that. But I just thought it was curious that, they made this whole stink yesterday. Well, we got options. Cade's an option, but we don't know what we're doing yet. Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, Flexen pitches again tonight. Just if Cade gets called up, remember tonight, because they may have showed their hand. But that's enough of this. I mean, it was 5-3, and then they tied it. You and I got really excited. Then we thought they were going to win it in the 10th, and now here in the bottom of the 11th, they're down 9. This game, flush it. They were due for a game like this, flush it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But you know what I do want to talk about? And it doesn't really show up tonight, and it feels kind of weird doing this now. But hey, this Cubs offense is pretty good. So Shawn and I did a deep dive trying to figure out what is the difference between last year's team and this year's team offensively. Because they're essentially running it back, right? The only difference is one guy. So we wanted to find out, did that one guy, our superstar, hopefully of the future, Kyle Tucker, how big of an impact has he had not only on the lineup, but these guys in particular? So this is going to be a real stat-heavy middle segment but it is super informative. So I'm just going to go right down the line here. We're going to start with maybe the hottest hitter for the Chicago Cubs, Dansby Swanson. Last year, if you look, and these you can see on the left-hand side of this graphic, and for those listening on audio, we essentially went from opening day to yesterday's date, so 5-5. And then obviously they didn't play all games. Seiya Suzuki, we'll get to him in a second, got injured. So this is basically from opening day to Cinco de Mayo of last year and this year, just for comparison. So they're similar sample sizes. Okay, now that's out of the way. So Dansby Swanson last year only was hitting 220, had a 287 on base, which is not great to begin with, although we'll get to his on base this year. The slug was down, the OPS is down, he only had 4 homers. This year, batting average up. The on base percentage down, slug up, OPS up, home runs up. Maybe not. Maybe that has an effect, maybe it doesn't.
That's probably a coincidence, Alex. Let's just chalk Dansby Swanson as that's what he's supposed to do. He should be getting better. So let's look at someone else and let's just see if that's happenstance.
All right. I'll trade you one, Dansby Swanson. Let's talk about Ian Happ. If we all recall,
Ian Happ. Oh, here we go.
Ian Happ had a he's sitting right now. Ian Happ had a horrific month of May last year. Or I'm sorry, month of April.
April.
April, yeah. He only hit 231, on base 348, slugged 313, and OPS 662, only 1 homer. This year, totally different ball player in the month of April. All his numbers are up. Home runs 3, OPS 777, slug 407, on base 370, batting average 287. All the numbers are up. What does that mean? Maybe nothing, maybe something. But we're just going to keep moving on right down the line here because you're going to see a lot of these guys similar. It's a similar circumstance. Seiya Suzuki. If you look across the board, all those numbers are up, including home runs. Michael Busch. This is the weird one. Folks, if you look at his numbers, they are almost identical to what they were last season. At this time, home runs the same. OPS, only 50 points difference. Slugging percentage, just about the same. On base, 40-point uptick, so on base is way up, and you can see that in his swing decisions. And average is exactly the same as the Giants officially win the game tonight. Nico Horner, his numbers also about the same, maybe even a little down from this year, which is actually a little surprising because I feel like he's been more impactful. And we're just going to kind of blow through these. Miguel Amaya, all the numbers are up. Now, that could be he's just a different hitter and he's figured some stuff out, but it's not nothing. Then we go to comparisons for what we had last year. Yan Gomes was essentially the starter in April versus Carson Kelly this year. I mean, look at these number differences. Carson Kelly, 361 batting average. Yan Gomes, 192. On base, 192 for Gomes. On base for Kelly, 500. That's video game stuff, guys. That's crazy. Slug, 820 for Kelly. 327 for Gomes last year. OPS, 1320 for Carson Kelly. Yan Gomes, 519. And then obviously the home run difference. And then here's the big one. The argument Shawn and I are presenting to you at home or listening in your car or office or wherever. The quote-unquote superstar. Cody Bellinger was our superstar last year. He only played in 23 games versus Kyle Tucker's 36, but the sample size for the most part is similar enough. Cody Bellinger only hit 250, on base 337, slug 489, OPS 825, home run 6. Compare that to Kyle Tucker. Every single one of those numbers is up. 284 average, on base a 393, slug 560, OPS 953, and home runs 9 versus 6 from Bellinger. All of their numbers are up. Why is that? This is essentially the same team, correct? So why are all these numbers up? We have a theory. Shawn has a theory. One Mr. Kyle Tucker. Shawn, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, so guys, the reason we're doing all these stats as, again, the game just ended, and whatnot. And it just a terrible loss. Like, the reason we bring these numbers up is because, one, games like these, like, sometimes these things will happen. Like, and a guy's going to blow up. He's going to have a bad outing and whatnot. And these things are going to happen. But the reason we brought these stats up is to show you is that the trajectory is looking really good for us. Like, these things will happen, like, right? But what we're trying to show you guys here is that when we invested into Cody Bellinger in 2023, and he did put up some video game-esque numbers for a part of that second half of that season that got us within there. And then even 24, when we repaid him and re-upped him that money, we paid him like we were expecting the same type of production, but it fell short. And what I'm trying to say here is that the Kyle Tucker effect is what we were hoping Bellinger would be. Getting someone like Kyle Tucker who has replicated the same type of numbers that Bellinger did in 23. He's done that pretty much most of his career. It's been pretty consistent, and he is a superstar by every measure and every statistical category that we can look at. And I think that's what we have been missing. I've heard that on other podcasts. We've been missing that guy, and I'm going to attribute most of the progression not just from what I've seen and not from what I just read, but even when I hear PCA say, you don't understand how great it is to learn from a guy like Kyle Tucker and just to be able to hit in the 7 spot, because the 3, 4, 5 guys are tough to get through. Like, I can sneak in here in the 7 spot and do what I want and not feel like I have to step in to do something I'm not supposed to do. Like, that's because of who Kyle Tucker is. I think that's what it is, guys. That's the whole point. Like, Kyle Tucker is that guy, and again, if we don't re-up him or find a way to throw an empty checkbook at him, like, I'm really not sure. Like, it can still be exciting from here on out, but man, we are gonna really, like, if you don't re-up Kyle Tucker this year, like, just move everybody and just lean on the youth. Don't trade for anybody else. Don't go get extra guys. Lean on your youth and build it up from the ground up again.
Yeah, and maybe that's the more interesting question here is, if you don't re-sign Tucker, what is the plan? And maybe there is no plan. Maybe Jed Hoyer's plan was, I need to save my job. Maybe. And maybe Tom Ricketts is like, I need the money from the playoffs. I need the gate. Maybe. But if you don't re-sign him, you're essentially starting back at square one. I mean, yes, you'll have all this money coming off the books after this season, but I feel like we say that every season. Oh, it's all this money. Oh, they're going to go do something. Okay, well, how many times have we heard that? So maybe the more interesting conversation here is, if you don't re-sign him, what does that regression look like, not only for your team, but going to these guys who have never played in the bigs before? I mean, Kevin Alcantara, can you even call it a cup of coffee? Maybe an espresso shot at the big leagues? Like, he hasn't been – I mean, he sniffed the big leagues. Owen Casey hasn't been here yet. We have no idea what that is. Matt Shaw had a cup of coffee. That hasn't worked out quite yet, although he'll be back sooner than later. That's just my feeling, and every podcast I've listened to, it's just the general sense I get. I think by the end of the month, Matt Shaw's back. But still, if you take Tucker out of this lineup, Suzuki's a free agent in a year then. There's just a lot more question marks than if you re-sign him. Then you can still compete. I don't know that competitive window is going to stay open if we decide to let him walk. And the numbers even bear that out, as we just showed you.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the comments, and I want to keep our comments in check here and keep them engaged. So I saw Seabass there. He said, man, we traded Kyle Tucker for Cam Smith and a crappy pitcher. No, we didn't trade for Ryan Presley. Like, we gave him Hayden Wesneski, right? We didn't want it. We weren't seeing anything with him. So we gave up Cam Smith, who, again, he might be a star, he might not be. I think we're missing the point here. Like, we would not be as engaged and as upset as we are. Like, we'd be upset for a different reason about today losing if we didn't have Kyle Tucker, because the narrative would be the same. But the fact that we have someone like Kyle Tucker who has elevated this lineup, we have a different reason to be mad and to be pissed when Jed Hoyer and Tom Ricketts are not going to go break the bank and trying to over here re-up Kyle Tucker. Like, I know you guys are like, oh, they've never done that. They won't do it. He's cheap. You're probably right. We're not saying that they are. We're saying they need to. this would be a fundamental failure of this organization if they don't find a way to do this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and it doesn't only fail your fans. I think it fails your team. Because again, we just showed you all the numbers. All of the numbers outside of Michael Bush are up, and not just up dramatically. That
Yeah.
can't just that's not just a coincidence. Maybe it is. But his approach, you can see it. It has rubbed off on the rest of the lineup. And also, for the record, Cam Smith, the quote unquote superstar, yeah, he's batting 207 with 3 homers and an on base of 301. Like, let's pump the brakes.
Yeah. He needs to go back to minors. Like, he needs to go back there and work.
Well, that's the other thing is people were all upset when we traded Cam Smith. If he was in the Cubs system yet, he'd be in Double-A. He would not be in with the big league team. I don't care how big of a spring he would have. He would have started at Double-A. Maybe he's in Triple-A at this point if he would have stayed hot.
Yep.
But it's 2 totally different organizations with 2 different ideologies. So the fact that, we gave up Cam Smith. Okay. If he becomes Mike Schmidt and Kyle Tucker walks, all right, bad trade. But we still got Kyle Tucker for a year, and that's pretty freaking cool.
Guys, we don't know what Cam Smith's going to be. Like, and again, if Cam Smith becomes that guy in 4 years, that's 4 years we would have bellyached and been upset and cried about it. Seabass, I agree with you again. Look, Tucker's great. Like, if we only have him for a year, it better be a World Series run. I believe, guys, based on what I'm seeing on the offensive side of things, we need to obviously shore up the starting rotation, and we need to kind of fix and pick and, tweak the bullpen some more. We have to do that. We see that. But I'm saying it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me if you cannot at least come to the table with an offer and Kyle Tucker to go, we might do that. Let's work out some details. Because if you're not able to do that, no offense, I wouldn't be going to go and get Sandy Alcantara. I wouldn't go get some different thing. I wouldn't go and go get new bullpen guys. I just say, well, I don't think we're going to be able to sign them. Let's just kind of work with what we got and see what we got in our minor league system and bring those guys up. I'd be a waste of my money if I did that. And what I'm saying is, guys, is like, I know Presley gave up all these runs tonight. He looked terrible. Look, guys, don't jump on the bandwagon yet. Like, let's send him. I'm hoping there's some kind of phantom IL. He needs to be sent down. Let him go and just kind of get back into some kind of shape. Guys, before April 20th, he pitched 9 innings, 3 walks, no earned runs. Nobody was saying a thing about Ryan Presley for the entire month of April. But then he had that knee drainage and everything that happened there. And then he only pitched twice in the last 17 days after that. To me, that's an issue. I don't think you need to DFA that guy because he had a really rough outing. If we had done that, man, we wouldn't have a bullpen that we have right now because every one of those guys have had an implosion of some sort.
It
happened. Who did we see the other night?
I'm
trying to think of the closer. Go ahead.
Are you talking for the other team or our guy?
For the other team. No, for the other team.
I'm blanking.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
I was making a point. Go ahead. Go.
Well, overall, Porter Hodge will have outings. He has already, and he's looked fantastic for most of the season. Caleb Thielbar, we were all ready to hang that guy in the town square, for God's sake. And he's been pretty darn good. I know today wasn't pretty, so maybe that's the wrong name to bring up.
Yeah,
because, today, it wasn't his earned runs. They ended up being charged to Presley. But, he got knocked around a little bit too. But all these guys, they're going to have bad outings. Even Colin Ray, who's been solid all year, he wasn't super sharp today. So the fact that we're just so quick to DFA this guy, we did that with Gavin Hollowell. You and I talked about that yesterday. DFA this guy, he sucks. DFA. I get the urge that you want to win from the fan base, from the front office. The front office will show you they want to win this year. I get it. But you can't just be shipping off all these guys when they're solid. I get it. Ryan Presley has not really impressed. His first impression has stuck. Because I think a lot of Cubs fans, and maybe this is a different podcast for a different day, but a lot of Cubs fans are ready to give up on him. As you just said, before he got his knee drained, he was really, really good. Tonight it didn't work out. It happens. A big deal. Because guess what? There's going to be a 9th inning where they're up 1. He's going to come in, lock it down, and then everyone will sing the song and fly the W, and we'll be good. But relievers in general, and I think getting into the setup man network this year has made me realize the swings game to game, it's taking years off my life. I'm pretty sure.
It's volatile, man.
It's
volatile.
Wild. So, and look, I'm not going, you fan how you want to fan. I'm not here to preach at you guys in Setup Nation. Well, this is ridiculous. Fan how you want to fan. But we are here to give you the numbers and the facts. And the facts are that Ryan Pressly, outside of tonight and before his knee drainage, was really sharp. So before we end the show, well, actually, before we get to that, Shawn, do you have anything to add?
No, I would just say I agree with you guys, man. I understand it's frustrating because that was the narrative that Ryan Pressly came up with. We so graciously gave him the nickname Stressley because of the Houston guy who's a Chicago guy that talked about it. Like we brought, we gave him and adopted that name for him right away. And I get that he struggled those first couple of games out, but he was very solid and did very well for the entire month of April. Yeah. Like, there were moments where like, holy crap, there's a guy here. I just think it's a mismanagement of personnel when you're only throwing a guy out there. And the only time you throw him in a super high leverage position, the last time he had done it was over 3 weeks prior, or 2.5 to 3 weeks prior. Like that to me, that's not good. I would have loved to see Caleb Thielbar come in instead of Ryan Pressly. But again, that's just a whole different. I think it's a different conversation. I'm not ready to DFA him right now. I'm not on Hector Neris status. I'm not Albert Alzolay status yet. I think we could throw him down there. Let's just call this what it is, too, guys. It's not just Ryan Pressly. We had a few opportunities. There was that caught stealing by John Birdie with 1 out that could have affected the game. We had obviously 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning. There were a lot of other things in that game that could have gone our way, but it just didn't, right? That's all that is. Like, let's kind of give it perspective. It was a really weird, a really awkward, and we could not put the ball where the defense was tonight.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. We were meant to lose this one tonight, and it just looked even worse because of Pressly.
And it stung because they came back. If they wouldn't have come back in the ninth, it would have been ho-hum. All right, we're doing the post-game show. The chat's like, whatever. You win some, you lose some. And maybe that's what all this is. And I see in the chat, too, I want to shout out this comment quick. Why the heck would CC, Craig Counsell, use him if he's hurt? Well, that's kind of our point. Like, if he's hurt, why is he taking up a roster spot? Why is he still just kind of hanging out in the bullpen? Like, if he's hurt, then shame on management for not being proactive and doing something about it. That's our general point.
If you drained his knee on April 21st or 22nd after that last game, you threw him 1 time on the 27th, and then you threw him 1 time on the 5th. Like, you only threw him out there twice in 17 days? Like, what are we doing right now? Like, if he just needed healing and rest, like, just throw him on the IL. You call up another bullpen arm. Let's see what we got with those other guys. Let's see who's figured those things out. Daggum, Tyson Miller's striking dudes out left and right in the minor league system. Yeah. Why not? Like, so I'm with you. I understand. Why would he pitch him if he's doing that? I don't know. Again, I'm not going to pretend that I'm in the dugout and have the mind of Craig Counsell. But I'm just it is just awkward and funny to me that was the case. And again, it's his job too. He needs to execute pitches. But I told you probably the second guy in, he's not throwing the ball well. He's not hitting his spots, and they are teeing off on him. Even the foul balls, they were teeing off on him. I was like, this is not going to be good.
No, and with every outing he's had, you can tell pretty quickly into his outing if he's on or not. He's usually getting in front of batters. Tonight he wasn't. He was falling behind 2-0 on a lot of batters. You kind of know then. So I think that's where we leave today, Lai, because I can see the vibes in the chat are bad. I know my energy is just not super happy today. And that, like I said, they don't tie the game, ho-hum, we're doing a show, whatever, it's over.
Yeah.
But the fact that they tied it and then had a chance and then got a frozen rope right at somebody, it sucks. Yeah. And you have games like this. It sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? Potentially tomorrow. Cubs.
That's exactly right.
Cubs have a day game tomorrow, 1:20 at beautiful and historic Wrigley Field against these same Giants. It'll be Robbie Ray on the hill for the Giants. He's 4-0 with a 3.05 ERA in 38 1/3 innings pitch. He'll be going up against Cubs' Ben Brown, who's 3-2 with a 4.88 ERA on the season in 31 1/3 innings pitched. Robbie Ray in his career has 6 games against the Northsiders. 2-1 is his record, a 2.31 ERA in 35 innings, 36 Ks to 14 walks. Ben Brown has never faced the Giants in his career, But just, again, might be something, might be nothing. But Ben Brown at Wrigley Field has struggled a bit. Ben Brown on 6 days rest has struggled a little bit. And again, it's only been 5 outings for him, 5-6 outings. So it just mark it. But in his outings at Wrigley Field, all of which came on 6 days rest, San Diego on April 6th, 4 innings, 5 earned, 4 walks. Not great. April 19th against the Diamondbacks, 4 innings, 1 earned, 4 walks. That was the game. He was just really wild. He couldn't find the strike zone with a GPS. It just was an ugly game. He got through only giving up 1, but truthfully, he probably should have gave up more. And then the last time he pitched at Wrigley Field was Saturday, April 26th against Philly. That is the one where he got absolutely rocked by that lineup. Went 3 2/3, 6 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. So, might be something, might be nothing. Maybe it's a Wrigley problem, maybe it's a rest problem. But just something to monitor here. As I was looking at the box scores doing research for the show, I was like, I'm just going to flag that. So, anyway, Shawn, tomorrow, going up against Robbie Ray, the rubber match, trying to win the series tomorrow. What are you looking for in tomorrow's ball game?
I just want Ben Brown to repeat success, man. Whatever you did at Milwaukee last weekend, just come out and have the same game plan, man. Attack the strike, attack the zone, man. Make them put the ball in play. I don't think the conditions will be super favorable tomorrow either. I'm not 100% sure on that, but tonight was just kind of mutual. I think there'll be a slight smidge worse. So just, man, let them put the ball in play. Hopefully they don't have the same kind of luck they had tonight. And just, man, put together a good home start for Ben Brown with the offense that you have behind you. It should give you the utmost confidence that, man, I might give up 3 or 4, but my guys are going to come out here and put 5 or 6 spot on the board, and we can win this game.
Yeah, and for reference,
break even. Tom says wind's blowing in from center tomorrow, so it is not going to be a hitter's delight. So let's get on the ground. Let's hope Bailey's not behind the plate for the Giants, because he is a defensive stud. Reminiscent of the old Buster Posey. And let's just see if we can get the ground game going. Go back to a little small ball, take a series win, enjoy your day off, go ahead and put Presley in the minors and go ahead and figure out what you're doing for Saturday, and let's go get a series win.
And for reference, Ben Brown in his last outing went 6 shutout against Milwaukee, no walks, key stat there, and 4 Ks. So if he can repeat that, we're in good shape to go win a series tomorrow. But for Shawn, for Alex, thank you for joining us. Thank you if you were in early and doing our little watch-along thing. I apologize. Probably my fault they lost tonight, because the arrow was pointing up until we went live. It's probably on me. I made that decision. That's my bad. I'll take the loss on that one. But for those that did hop in early and were in the comments, and just thank you for the love and support as always. Make sure on your way out the door, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to help us out, and hit that little bell so anytime Kyle's posting cool breakdowns and stuff, you'll get that notification right to your phone, to your iPad, to whatever device. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and that bell. As for us, we're going to go ice up. It'll be Kyle and myself tomorrow after the game at 1:20. And as Shawn groaned and is working that rotator cuff, he's got to go ice up, as will I. We will see you tomorrow after the rubber match.
Go join Ryan Presley, baby. Oh.